Ebusuafo ya mamunyina akwa bakese eba HRE TV so Jumedia juada enyume bia ye debre mo ya to ne din say time with Tatapsen Sabre so na owaya ye di Jumedia kama kama me sure say fra onwa na onwa so mfa ne nua ne ntimi mfa Jumedia no nhyehyɛ so kama Sabre ye be kɔ ne akwaje quick commercial break ye ba pay ya na te say ye di Jumedia no ahyase enne enyume topic e ba be treat or say sir kwan abefa so a budget na be wa plan and we try so be save sika ewo ebusuam eno na ye ba be di ho dwumede ye ne yenwa be ma na KWAME AKOWUAH financial expert and as a financial analyst ene ye no eba be twetwe nkomo le ma se ye twen ho aba se ma peko
yankutuna na sio nyameno no yanana sie wa ma yatamfo atishoko hey Tiawa ne de no no wayama na yamenwanwa hey wayama na timwa atamfo atishoko Ghana for me the unbreakable joy is blessing oh she HRE TV koso ana hwe na obe yinshira unbreakable keep it locked.
Check the statistics. What from beaucoup d'État on my big six. We remove all the girls logistics. You want here top speed Olympics. Yo, what up, people? It's your boy Natalie, and I'm watching HRE TV, man. Keep it locked. Badman operator.
Hello, guys. It's your girl Pamela Odame Watara, and I just want to recommend HRE TV for you guys for all your latest interviews. Just stay tuned at HRE TV. I love you all, guys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching me live on HRE TV. HRE, His Royal Majesty. Oh my goodness, I love the name of this TV. HRE TV. Oh my goodness. Just catch us live on YouTube. Just go there, HRE TV, and click subscribe, and then get updates on everything that they put there, and then watch them also live on Facebook. When you hear the name HRTV, you are talking about television that comes from the heart. Oh, HRTV. Oh my God, good morning, children. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, R, E, H, R, E, H, R, E, TV. Go and watch HRE TV. Bye bye. H, R, his, right.
Yankutuna.
I was at one, your friend Carla Boss, the only boss with what is. Do you know about TapTapSend? TapTapSend is one of the easiest, convenient, reliable money transfer app you can get. You can download TapTapSend on Google Play Store or App Store. We download it and then you register. Register and you are good to go to send money across every place, many countries in the world. TapTapSend. I wouldn't like that.
Ebusuafo ya damase Mr. Sabre na wufro onwa na onwa so afre ne nwa ye de twede mpo ase kese pa se wa ma na watwe akwa pro abeto me na omie no osomfo HRE speaking his real freshness speaking me ne mo de ba betwetwe nkobo kama na se me na be di dwumedie ho chia me saa so na producers a omugina echire ma ye de emema feed ne from ma ye de edwumedie ebramo teacher and na enwa be ma na Lord ana na kwesi y dot saa so na A class ene dane so ebo ama dwumedie yi eba ma bobo ano kama Sabre yenwa ba so your production lady, the only lady among the men, yes. So ewo hobia or supporting my yedi dwumedie ebram Miss Rose ya ye wo so nyina yen share Zoom link no any both Facebook YouTube link na ma ebusuafo no so intime mehwe bi ye live ewo Facebook HRE TV ana TapTapSend Ghana those Facebook links in your live or Sasun your live ewo YouTube HRE TV until the Misrao Zoom phone so no me won more pick him nko so man pick him more sa ye da munyina ase ye nko so share link na update dwumedie no nko so kama Sabre yanse ne be share dwumedie na ase be pese be da abo afa so ya sene aye di dwumedie e bra ase na penyifo so koto se abo ne sia pampa so a na enye na ho de na ne pa bi no de kwese na mo bi ne kukuru ni ne si o sa so ne na medua so na ahoma ebe hunu soro enti no You better say, you better feel good services as feel good services up will be only the bidding come concerning mental health education per omechira coin. SARS na feel good services say or more feel good homes. Feel good homes, I'll be cry for crowd de abakra a danya musia East Legon Hills, 4-bedroom house and your apartment, a house, and you have your own self area obetimi gate down no motorized gate our so be fenya fena gate ma ba baby wana bibiasa obetimi abi wade from the car one self compound you bibia as we mate quarters e can home 5 bedrooms. You have the option to choose from swimming pool, extra bedroom, making it 5 bedrooms, and I say ebia back outdoor your friend saying kitchen. Yes, into the Pelmocha coin from 513 and now outside USA for plus 1-513-372-5758 and plus 1-513-372-5758. So that's one more apartments as well East Legon Hills. Pomecha going any more ending it I won't come medabasi. Also, wellness clinics also say men can't share for in terms of while we hear family nurse practitioner and I say be IV hydration, primary care manager be and the most specialized power room teach you weight management from 1513-268-2740. We are licensed over these 2 states Ohio and Maryland, but ABM so from another state, they might be able to locate you to the right quarters. Yenya ba Millicent Owusu and Millicent Mensa Owusu a couple weeks ago, and basically breaking it down to us concerning fighting financial ignorance in America. And ABM I think say last week crying in Asia and ebiom life insurance ho hia see ye beji ama ye busua for life insurance baby now who answer so about for so about your trade there whilst you are even alive you can tap into it and a very worth it. Frame about Millicent 937-321-2270 and that's a 937-270-9882 if I can say Oba HITV time with taps and so and out on I say on Timmy to the boss now taking care of you pepepe. Pemu nankasa sa ope kwan abefa so aseniska kofi na wonya how wonya mani bia na bibia beko so boko na te say startups and abeka for man we busia for startups and download the app no app store na so Google Play Store for promo code PK P-KAYHM Mr. Minsa wa wo hwe me de bia na wa yededa into why your farmer woman na onye na why to the phone catch and say nasa body run the chira massa startups and aba back and we are back and bigger and stronger than it used to be. The sent no mesra na ma eje say obedi onwa ebeka sa na fidi startups and yakoso aseni sika coffee especially mo amowo app no de da na mo amo send sika de da no mo je tom no mo nkoso aseni sika coffee mo susu amoni nso do mesra wa mo nkoso a ema ebusuafo ne adofo nyina ensa enkebi sabre you better must say you better call startup sense work actually na fidi akokotie any update and that's a good news e wo bia etibema A class am I any updates from startups and A class ya ba kwa ba jumedi so
yeah also be out here.
Otwetwa si kakra o
Is it okay now? I was for your mom na madro about time of startups and HRE TV so and then me as so here so man na otwe akọ ababeto ye and you wait make say Ebenezer Sam we can crave the one my person yeah the man at the phone na what's going on at startups and maybe a tremu kakra e can ebon the rule about wallet na e ka say eba ho USA no and at the moment o may increase numbers no amount for wallet no and omugu so
okay so may increase numbers na number of people that can use and as a number of sika betim dey go so
there be people that can use it at the moment it's still on the pilot basis because as the USA
into omu bie mo course okay all right
into omu bie mo ko kakra into
meba o into Mr. say unya hu ya And no chance with their name, but I think that is what your class is trying to put across. It's a pilot basis, it's a group by groups. A be when you be when you be when why wouldn't be with them because our friend me right before the show said Odian any Juman on Mr. And no now all about the run and Tianti hope I hear.
Yeah, into the omo bia mu kakra and said that one would can use here no ne some of the suggestions I want to questions on and penfor so the air share city between the in the mind at to a year kakra and I said what hanum na say bia o Europe and I say UK so dia what they use wallet no edata into and also so W2W no so wow so aka bi so betimi edi edwuma amana akokama wow sa enyan ka bi so no. But don't worry, very soon, or maybe I'm obibia Eden and Sa Eden Aka. And I said the money so that so no your charities be ye de 2 year up and so I said I'm not forbid me abwa those kind of charities na what Ghana no. But ye Gamma Foundation Oko Eswa what more for early childhood development and education as well. And the other one also a tool for foundation Hill of Comfort Notching so and also so to help to rehabilitate the hospital no no Comfort Notching. It did so many years in a proper facelifting into that's what they're trying to do in order to make the place lovely. And I know about so I also I find smart and so foundation or corporate to me or the bois in yanka any crank to almost school home echo air I will put in the any being so. But make a bueno and just say these are the only 3 per any walk. So what quay soon as we are foundation be our model bois amount for now all the necessary Aidiana. Please contact any of us. Na yense no link no na fill it up. Once you fill it up no na say nyame ye adom na say wotimi go through the compliance stages na ye be enlist wo ayeden aka ho. Enti na mbacho eyi baako so eno no. And this Mosaka email and I be any efa charities no they will born one patro and trying pushing it out and so uncle am I lastly so the best say oh hanomo or sorry no what in a womb piano program be a because piano please reach out to any of the representative on this corner so link up near here quite me about down about bedding as support also so the because so as say these programs be at say and the kika ho atomo de bia or maboba no so and the pk ahana kakra every tata send catching so edwebe months so and lastly omo European UK omo journey no until least ene enwa John eno mama Kenan yedamase pa yame enshamo say de bia da no that's for the time frame no mobile ebe support here and this is what we always appreciate and always look forward to as well. God bless you.
One was your movie UK by no, it didn't hear them.
Until Liz and John.
It is this year, what credit on my account now, BBC now. I mean, me that say no, na this is your calm and actually do. And Uncle Jimmy was send you attack at 8 o'clock. Mr. Rao, why? Oh, Weber show this so no. Yeah, we show no 7:30. Memphis so Jina so neti Uncle Jimmy was telling me attack up. And I think and I will expect us to hear it from Uncle Jimmy. Credit to credit and you ya check. It was that credit account in my into no Mr. Rao.
All right, I'm going to see it, man.
Yeah, that's it. UK for I'm also celebrate how it is because and easy. Me pa dia kebe dia ma minti adia minti menyan mu so bi ya na che say meni age pa I say UK show no tamam be bia na me she adwumem me ba na be taw kakra na beti na be kom taw kakra na beti enti mo am UK so so mo hwe ne da ba say sa so na edu UK so dia so Thursdays bia a class 2:30 p.m. me ba 2:30 USA.
They say at time no as
2 p.m. 2 p.m.
2 p.m. But
2 p.m.
Yeah, so this week 2 p.m. Next week I'm aduma and about 3 p.m. to the normal time because weekend in a clock no best akona nimbako.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's on the 30th of March that time in the best is UK. It's a Bisraba in a bed in crapple double crapper my UK for you know it was for you support it nina information just in case you miss it over here then we can make it over there. But who say it didn't be one na fear Ofori into me. Didn't hear me there papa me papa din no nti no echire ne bepe ho asama aka ne ahwe ebuso fa da base na me kasa nyina na me pese wo de fra wo nua na wonya so betie bi because enua be ma na kwame akowa or start so hwie nsempa de gu hodom na ebia no amesi out ana te koka wo so ebokuro na ote ya nti de ye no kokko kire mu so wankira ase ye na abda asem na se basa ba wankasa wo ho na wuti anti misrew keep sharing the link to ebuso fo nyina ye nua be ma na kwame 1.9
Adom and more pineapple. Memory pa.
nice one.
Yes.
Ugusu she adwuma we dey ya how facha yen.
That's okay.
Facha
It's
yen.
the time of the year in tea. We never leave work.
Nice one,
Yeah,
nice one.
but you're not better also feel.
Beginning of the year, you know what shall see, my how to file taxes and be your friend say effective taxes are fast and being brand that this year and perform you know be a minimum so yeah share yes no taxes or back of valid taxes bonya my tax preparer the crab with Johnny. You know, if it's true, yeah, that was a pa that up this so and all the viewers in on the platform no and so we are very grateful. Into your flower and then you see only you discuss how to plan effectively. Near budget ye, the team save sika, a babusium. Obi one na on any reneti, obi on any cruneti, obi a conini mianum neti, obi also so no on any man quantity. I ain't as I say we are saying a perfect sir, and you'll be a war our remu, and then you'll be a war. My friend is obi also ma and on any matter. Until we always not perceive life to be a perfect place. Until in a sense, you know, can you please let us know some of the things to do. I bet me a service can go your bottom. Now, and when you say there be hand to mouth, no, and a paycheck to paycheck, no. Just a paycheck be one when you 2 days to paycheck. When you just can't 3 days, na sika na according to bills. How can we make our life easier and a bit me reduce your stress? Am I?
Okay. PK me that say, and I just want to just have a person follow up with this. I'll be honest, tap sending. So I've received some very good referrals. Before I'm here, come on the last time. Be more, I reached back and then we worked, and I've enjoyed how you my humanity. I'm very grateful for the platform. And so,
Yeah,
my
that's
my
it.
my boy, I mean my boy, my business. It's in a mission on share platform, and I have
Yeah,
a
that was it.
treat. I have a treat because budgeting is an interesting and forgive me maybe I may come bro because I may have some audience or what your YouTube
Yes,
that
that's fine.
I'll be American see beginning if I have to bring it to key later I'll do it but more functioning. But budgeting, the reason why I thought it very interesting to me is that I'm doing it twice. And then I'm here to a local community here. Now the reason why I sometimes we this topic, Obia interested. Everybody wants to know about it. But Obia to me stick it to it. To me, I started a personal finance journey. When I started a personal finance journey, this was one of the most difficult things to overcome to budgeting consistently. I always kind of fought with myself. So why is it so hard to budget? Why is it so stressful? Because sometimes you can start well within a month or two, then you give up. You can, there's the tendency to keep going is so hard. And so today I have a treat because I really want to give a really simple strategy that will make your budgeting easy, consistent, and you never have to go run through that problem again. I've done a lot of personal financial coaching, and budgeting is always what I tackle first. And a lot of people that have stuck with this system have been successful, right? Until when you think about budgeting, the idea, so this is just a little bit about me. You guys know me, so I'm not going to waste time on this, but the idea for budgeting is so many people want to use budgeting to control their finances. That's the key. You want to be able to control your finances. You want to be able to decide where your money goes. That's everybody's desire because a lot of times you realize, if you can budget, you think your finances will be much better. But you find yourself always going in circles. So many people always find themselves going in circles. You do the same thing, and then you find that it's not working for you. Or especially in our lives, unexpected, unpredictable incidents always happening. You sometimes you sit down, you plan, I'll pay my rent, I'll pay this, I'll pay this. Then tomorrow something unexpected happens and then it totally derails you. Especially if you are trying to build your finances from the ground up. And so budgeting as a word, no, even some people don't want to even hear it. So many people I remember I had a chance to sit with a very successful business woman, extremely successful. The word budgeting really stressed them out and they didn't even want to hear it. But the truth is, you can move forward if you don't also have a system in place to actually have control and be able to decide how or where you put your money. So this topic is a pain for so many people. And today I really want to break it down and then really give you something and then also open it up for conversation so that if you have a question about it, if you are struggling, if you are trying to budget but you don't know how to, I really believe that the system and the strategy that I go over today will give you something to work with. It's overwhelming. Sometimes you have so many moving pieces, you don't even want to look at your expenses. But if you do the hard work once and you put the right system in place, you can keep it moving. Okay, you do the hard work one, you put the right system in place, you can keep it moving. So I'll take you through the system and then we'll go over it. And then what I want you to do is I really want you to take note of every step in the process and ask me questions because I know for sure, sir, if you can implement this, it will change the way you budget. I've done it for years. I've done it for years till today. I do it every time I'm going through this with people. Sometimes they feel like, oh, it's not possible. It is possible. Just follow me. Let's work through this together, and you will know it's possible. So, with that being said, let's discuss the process. Okay, let's discuss the process. That's why today this is my all my slide. This process is like the magic wand. It transforms everything. So for those who have never done budgeting, it's really hard to do anything when you don't have a sense of purpose. Okay. Sometimes when I have clients come in to my office and then they sit with me, then they will come in and tell me we are looking to transform our finances. Okay, I'm hearing that you're looking to transform your finances. And then I ask them, what kind of transformation are you looking for? And they can't give me an answer. I can't even wrap my head around it. What kind of transformation? Where are you going? What are you trying to do with your finances? So I'll give you an example. Imagine you are a security person or you are in a community, well known in the community, and then you are walking on the road, and then somebody comes to you and says, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me, madam, can you please show me the direction?" Your first question will be direction to where? Like, where are you going? Like, if you need me to show you direction, at least tell me your destination, then I can point you into the right direction. Budgeting is not done in vacuum. You have to do your budgeting with a sense of purpose. So if you don't have a direction where you are going, it's really hard to stay consistent with the budgeting. So the first step, it may sound, you may think that it does not have any correlation with budgeting, but it does. Your first step is, what are you looking to do with your money? Like, where are you trying to go with your finances? You have to answer that question. Where are you going with your finances? Like, what kind of vision goal are you looking to achieve? Are you looking to buy a home, buy a car, save for retirement? Are you looking to just be able to make more than you spend? What is the goal? That goal is the foundation for you having a successful budgeting system in place. So your first step is you need to really do a soul searching and understand what you are looking for with your finances. Sometimes when I ask people to write this down, it's so hard to write. But you don't have to have any crazy goal or any goal that it's out of the norm. Just come up with a very simplified but achievable goal. You've heard of the SMART goal system. So it has to be very specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be achievable. What R and N T? I forgot the R and T, but it's just a goal that is realistic. That's the basic foundation. You have to set a realistic goal, simple enough to achieve goal. So if you are starting to do budgeting, maybe your budgeting is I want to save enough to create an emergency fund. Okay, an emergency fund is having money put on the side that can take care of emergencies. It's one of the key, it's very fundamental to having a successful budgeting system. So maybe that's your short-term goal. You want to have an emergency fund, you want to save $1,000 by the end of the next 3 months. You want to save $2,000 by the end of the next 3 months. And then after emergency fund, you want to sit down and set up another goal. Maybe now your goal is to save money to buy a car cash, or to save money to have enough for a down payment for a home, or to save enough money to be able to buy yourself out of your job. That is a huge goal, because one of my vision is if you can save enough money to buy yourself out of your job, that way you are working, but you are not working because you have to. You are working because you want to. It's night and day. So you can go to work, and even if your bosses are not being nice to you, you are not forced to stay at work. And the way you buy yourself out of a job is if you can save a year to 2 years of your income, if you have that saved, you buy yourself out of a job. Because what happens is within a year to 2 years, if you have a good skill set, most people can find another job. So that if you start working and you are not feeling the current position you are in and you want to step away, you can easily do that. So what is your goal? There's so many different things. Maybe your goal is to furnish your room, furnish your house. Maybe your goal is to get married, have a wedding. It doesn't matter. There has to be a specific goal that is going to feed your lifestyle when you want to budget. Okay, so that's the first thing. You have to define your goal. So if you don't have a goal set up and you are trying to budget just for budgeting's sake, you can be successful, but it's really hard to be consistent. Okay, it's very few people that succeed like that. Okay, so the first thing, even before you touch anything, before you go and just have that laid out. What is the plan? What are you shooting for here? What is it that you are trying to achieve for this budgeting? Then the second step, okay, when you define the goal, then you sit down and then you look at, this is a very important exercise. If you have a credit card and then you have a bank statement, look at all the accounts you have, your credit card, your bank statement, all of your accounts, and print out the past 3 month statements. Okay? Print out the past 3 month statements, because with the interesting thing about budgeting is every time you sit down to do a budget, as you go through your budget, as I talk to people and people write down their budget, almost always, I don't think it's all the time, they forget something. And the second thing about that is people also underestimate how much money they waste, or overestimate their lifestyle one way or the other. So the strategy is print out the past 3 month statements so you can understand your current spending lifestyle. You can understand the current expenses, and you can also be able to find all the hidden bills that you have. Some of us have reoccurring subscriptions that we've been paying for years that we've even forgotten. Planet Fitness is one of the popular ones. Sometimes you sign up, let's say in 2000, I really want to work out. I'm going to work out this year. I'm going to make a lifestyle change. Then you do 3 months, you stop. But when you stop, what you forget to do is you forget to cancel. And I think it's like $10 a month. So you see it, but you feel like, okay, I'll go back to it. Then you leave it 1 year, I'll go back to it, leave it 2 years, and all of a sudden you realize you don't even see it anymore. It shows up, but is moved from your conscious mind to your unconscious, so you don't even pay attention to it anymore, and then it stays on your card or on your bank account or on your credit card. If you do the accumulated amount you've paid over the years, sometimes it's in the hundreds of dollars, and it's not just the $10 ones. It's so many other subscriptions that can be hidden that you are paying for that you don't even realize it's there because you're not paying attention. So this portion of printing out the 3 months prior is important. Like you don't want to miss it. It's one of the key things, and it's always a revelation. Everybody that I work with is a revelation. Now, it can be very hard work printing out statements from each of your credit card expenses, especially if you are one that spends a lot and then going through. So, what you have to understand is most banks already classify the information for you. Most banks already classify the information for you. So, I know for sure because I have accounts with these banks like Chase and Huntington, they will classify it for you. So, some of these banks, they would even give it to you in Excel so that you can see what is reoccurring and everything. There are other apps that can help you do it. An app like Rocket, the Rocket Money app, they would highlight every subscription for you. So you don't even have to do the work. There's so many systems out there that will do it for you. So the key is you just have to find a way to do it. Because if you don't, it's really impossible to understand your lifestyle. Okay, so that will then help when you list, when you review, when you print out the past 3 months and you understand where your money is going, how you are treating your money. Now you list all your expenses. Okay, now you list all your expenses, whatever it is. Now, in this part, when you are listing your expenses, don't leave out an expense because you think you are going to stop it. For example, people do this where they are listing the expenses in their past 3 months. They've been going to Starbucks every day. But when they are listing the expenses, they want to leave it out because they tell themselves, I'm going to stop going to Starbucks. And they don't list it. But then what happens is when they start with their budgeting, they keep going to Starbucks because it's already a habit. So even if it's a habit you want to stop, at the time you are listing your expenses, write it down.
Nana,
Really important. Yes.
based on what you just said right now, right?
Mhm.
I'll spark you a big question. This question is coming from me directly, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes some people can probably have a good job, great paycheck,
Mhm.
pay their bills, no one say, okay, my child bills and everything is done. But when it's getting I see if say motivation the bottom. And
Yes.
Oshim Sika, no. So what you just said right now, actually might be a could be so. Could it be said the expenses now yembu no 20, 30, 20, 30, 50, no. Ebia gas a crampo yen trunk your budget. And so
Mhm.
ebia, because I remember when it was a timer, I was like, I don't know, your friend is say gas. Me calculating my gas and me check, and I realized that every 2 weeks I was buying $70 worth of gas. So that
Mhm.
means in a month, I'm paying about $150 worth of gas. When my
Wow.
job was like an hour away, no. Every week I was
Mhm.
buying $70 of gas, and I was paying about $300 of gas every month. But so $300, no one share your wife didn't call no, no, just a multi no. And so now one's not watching Sikano. Thanks
Yes.
for highlighting
And
that Starbucks part,
I'm so glad you mentioned it. No, it's true. I appreciate that because all of the things I mentioned, this is not something that I read about and I said something. This is something I've lived and then I've also advised a lot of people on. Indeed, I came up with this system for years of talking to clients. I've lived this. I myself struggle with this for years. So this is not something in a book or anything. This is me just talking to multiple people over the years on budgeting and everything and seeing the reoccurring challenges that people go through. And so I really appreciate that. But it's true, PK. So normally when people begin to list expenses now, it's human being. We tend to leave things that we want to stop out, or we tend to overlook things because unconsciously, sometimes we don't want to walk away from it. But it's really important, say, even if you believe you are going to stop it, or you believe it doesn't make a huge impact in BBR, it doesn't matter. Write it down. I'm telling you, this system works. Just write it down. It's like you said, if in the past 3 months you've spent an average of, let's say, 150 on gas, and I said 70 a week, so that's 280 a month on gas. Now you want to bring it down to 150. For now, write the 280. Oh, list it and write gas 280 because that's what you spent in the past 3 months.
Okay.
So that really,
you read some comments, but I'm saying we are near to us.
yes. Okay.
Abuzu afẹ mo nyina akwa ba sa afẹ no wa join ya misra o share link ma wo nua na wo nya so embe join because this is one of the most biggest aspect that people don't even get to understand. 80%, and again this is statistics, right? 80% of relationship issues, and I say conflict no agent finances and so. And sometimes you would think say, oh, nipa me, everything's supposed to go right. But if you don't plan right now, it will cause a lot of problems for you. Let's say amen. And opinion mensa say Alex the Great. Thank you. I say from UK. UK for near Chaba Payada Basibium Sebugusu A class say thanks a lot for joining, my boss. Really appreciate your time for joining. Nana Akosia free yen. I say, please, as part of budgeting, we are encouraged to save. Wow. You see the connotation that as part of budgeting, we are encouraged to save. Please advise on which is better to save, either at a traditional saving bank or a credit union. Before you answer that question, let me read the last two with the account. Now, me will be kafa home. Then after that, where we did that way. Now, I say free baby. Say, secondly, please, how can you advise a person with a bad credit who wants to buy a house? God bless you. Now, I say, no, dear. We treated pain last year, okay? We treated pain. Yeah, no a topic on it to one better than baba because we busan the man mau quick we be kakra. Ebi no be so the same question within. Memo riffs and another question here too. When we come to that part, Bema Benford Nana Benito all the way from Ghana or see Ochia or Bibiara or sharing from Ghana. Benito Yadase. Anna last one no hey, they were the mean to be more a Giselle and I producer your bonus. Giselle, huh?
Giselle, I think so.
Giselle, okay, Giselle. Producer see me to be good. I'm not used to the name because who's announced there will be the dog about a baby on Giselle D. Or say greetings, please. Some of us don't understand tree. Oh, Giselle. So yes, that is why the whole the speaker is mainly putting the whole thing in English for you. Nana Kusia comes back to says, really appreciate it. God bless you, Giselle. We will try to keep it in English for you. Kenneth says, are there any tools? I think he was trying to say, are there any tools that can be used for budgeting? Any recommendations? And I think Nana is gonna go there and talk about it. And Giselle says, yes, it's Giselle. Oh, with an accent. So probably from a French side. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for the correction. I really appreciate it. Now back to Nana Kosia's question. The first one. As part of budgeting, we are encouraged to save. Please advise on which is better to save, either at a traditional saving bank or a credit union. There are some things that we do and never get to understand. So those things take so much away from us. And especially being Africans, going to funerals, outdoors, baby showers.
That's
Nana,
so true.
those
That is
two,
so true.
those things are some of the motia shimni binu. So I feel like just talk about that part for us to whilst you are going into where to save, whether traditional or saving bank or credit union.
So let me say this too. The question was from Nana Kusia, right?
Nana Kusia
Please, Nana Kusia free. Please remind me about the credit. We'll talk about it at the end. But for now, just so I can stay in the topic, for the savings between traditional bank and credit union, the truth is, it always depends. For me, like this past year, you remember when interest rates is so high, interest rate kept going high. You are there, and then a credit union will offer you 4.5 interest. It's at the end of the day for me, it's about the number. We took the 4.5 interest, I remember, for savings for my partner and I, and then we found out another bank is giving 5. We switched. My money is my money. I'll go where I get the best benefit for my money. And you should not, unless there's a reason. Like for me, I value relationship over anything. So if I have a relationship with a bank, then I'll keep my money there, even if they're a little bit lower. But if I don't have any relationship and I'm just choosing, I always go based off of who is giving me the best interest. Sometimes credit unions always have good interest running, but they run it as promotions. And then sometimes the banks will have it. So I don't want you to lock yourself into any system if your goal is simply to make the best out of your money. That's why it's so important that you have to define the goal first. For example, if your goal is not just to save, but to buy a home, which is what you talk about, then I can say a local bank or credit union will be good, because sometimes credit is just a part of the conversation because they know you as a person. A good example: when I was a student, because I was an international student, 2008, and then through school I needed a car, but I was banking with a credit union, and I'll always go to the bank, say hello to the lady, and back and forth. And then I remember when
Try
I
to build a
made
rapport.
we built, so they knew me. I'll always go in there because your tuition, when my dad will bring tuition, that's where we'll put the money, and then that kind of thing. And sometimes when you go get a job to support it, that's where we were trying to, like, I was doing all my banking. So everybody, you go in there, they know you, they call your name. Essentially, the lady that I was going to see at the teller, she was also one of the loan advisors, because it's a credit union. It was a small credit union, and I love that. And so what happened was, when I needed a car, I was at the time my sister was here too. We didn't have the money enough to live on and buy a car, so we went to talk to them, and we didn't have. Remember, we didn't have any green card or anything that shows consistency. But because they knew who we were, they've seen us for close to a year. They understand that we are international students. They came up with a system. They made us put, I think, $1,000 in a savings holding account, and then they gave us a little bit of money to buy the car. That came not because our credit was good or anything. That came out of purely relationship. So if the goal in that circumstance was to let's say build a relationship so I can get a car, and then I still go to a traditional bank because they have higher interest rate, I miss out, because a traditional bank, they don't even see you. The people you see at a traditional bank, they don't even make any loan decisions. They don't even they are not a part of the team. The people that make a decision, they are sitting in a home office far away, and they are only looking at numbers. They are only checking boxes. So you have to know what you are looking for, what you are trying to achieve, even to be able to decide how or where you want to bank or you want to save. I think banking is a whole thing too that we can talk about, because there are credit unions, there are traditional commercial banks, and then there are community banks, regional banks. So there's different levels, and they all have a certain goal, a certain appeal. So it depends on what you are looking for, what you're trying to achieve. That's what will help you decide who to go in for and who you want to bank with. Okay. So, like I said, another question, I will come back to your question on credit, but I just really wanted to go over your first question.
Okay.
And then, did you have something
No,
else?
I thought you were done with the first part. You want to
Yes,
go to?
I'm done with the first part. Yes.
Okay. So then I think the next one was from Kenneth. Kenneth
The
says, "Are
tools.
there any tools that can be used for budgeting? Any recommendations?"
Yes. So the good news is we are in the 21st century. There's so many tools. There are so many tools that are free. Most banks offer a free budgeting tool. most banks that have good online systems offer free budgeting tool. Acorn, um, Robinhood, Rocket Money. All of these tools, they have their purpose. What I'll tell you is it's about familiarity. Which one are you familiar with that works for you the most? I'll be honest with you. The way I like to, and I can show you the way I like to budget, I use an Excel tool. Actually, my friend who loves playing with Excel designed it, and I love it because I like to, most of the tools, what happens is you set the budget and then you compare each month. For me, I like to plan ahead before I spend. So Excel allows me to do that. But there are a lot of free tools that you can use. So I don't use those tools that are available through most of those platforms. And then a lot of my clients and friends use them and it works perfectly for them. In fact, most of my clients use them. Personally, I use Excel. I love using Excel because it gives me a little bit more control and I'm able to get it the way I want it because everybody's lifestyle is different. Being a business person, I have multiple things running at the same time. I always need a tool that I can change up to suit my style. So I do have Excel that I use, but outside of that, there are quite a few tools. So Rocket Money has a very good one. Acorn has a good one. Robinhood has a really good one that you can use as well. I know Chase Bank has their platform has a budgeting tool, financial management tool that can be used if you bank with Chase, and there's quite a few out there that are available to you. Um, Betterment also has a budgeting tool that you can use, and it also helps you with savings. So those are a few companies out there I know for sure have free budgeting, free financial tracking tools that can help you budget and plan your finances better. But even in using all of these tools, I do I do believe that you still have to work within the system that I'm training on today because these tools won't be helpful if you fall off the wagon because they don't help you if you are not consistent with it. So the system that I'm going over today really helps you keep that going. Okay, so we are on the second point, listing your expenses, and then we kind of talked about sometimes you need to do that because they are hidden expenses. Those hidden expenses, you need to write them down as long as they show up on your transactions because it's your lifestyle. It's something you do. Don't ignore it. Don't overlook it. Write it all down. Most of the times when you do that, it will always be a shock. It's okay. I think the challenge is people try to hide from what is happening. There's an animal, I don't know, I forgot the name of that animal, but when they are running and trying to hide, they hide their head in the sand. The rest of their body is showing, and they think nobody can see them because they cannot see anyone. That is how it is with budgeting. The fact that you are not writing everything down and you are not fully exposing it doesn't mean it goes away. It's still there. So attack it head on. It's okay. Attack it head on. It's almost challenging when you're coming from behind, but the key is you need to know where you are to understand where you are going. So you list all the expenses, write it all down. Then the next thing you do is what I call prioritization. So this is where it becomes really important. Now, the mistake people have done over the years where budgeting has always thrown them off, and this third point is probably the most important point. The mistake people have done over the years is because they don't prioritize, the budgeting never works for them. Because what happens is even if you budget and then you end up using the money for things, and then the most important things come around, you feel like you are wasting your time budgeting. Because here you are, your rent is due. Yes, you wrote down that you are going to pay for gas and pay for groceries and then pay for, let's say, your tuition or whatever. All of them are important, but you know that there are some things that are more important than others. because you need to be able to balance your life. You balance it by keeping the important things more important, so that you don't take the money that you need to pay your rent so you can have a place to live to go and pay your car note. They are both important, but one is, especially if you live in Michigan, you don't want to be thrown out of your house. One, it's not like there's nothing in life that is not important. Everything is important, but always put the most important things first. That process of putting the important things first is what people miss when they do budgeting. So you don't pay your gym membership fees before you put money aside for groceries. So those little things really throw people off when they budget. You have to prioritize. So there is a quadrant. I'm going to go to the quadrant and I'll come back. So when you prioritize, now you need to find out what we need to automate. And the quadrant is what this is what makes the prioritization work, because there are 4 things. And even in the budget system that I created, I always classify. There are things that are essential. There are things that are discretionary. That means I can live without it. But there are things that are fixed and there are things that are variable. I'm showing you this quadrant because anything that is important, essential, that is fixed, you automate. What do I mean by that? You set it up to come out of your account automatically. So what are some of the things? I put rent, mortgage, health insurance, car payments, is depending on where you put. Let's say you're an Uber driver, you bought a car to run Uber, car payment becomes essential. If you are somebody that, you work from home, you don't really need a car, your car is discretionary. So no two people are the same. But the truth is, you have to sit down and design this yourself. Because you have a list of all the expenses, you put which is the most important at the top and then the least important at the bottom. Now you have to separate it in these 4 quadrants. What is fixed? What the fixed ones are the things you pay the same every month. They never change. Your phone bill, your rent, your mortgage, those things, they come the same, is the same amount every month, they never change. So you know that this is a fixed amount. But if it's fixed, is it essential or is it discretionary? So your phone bill is maybe essential. You need a phone. In this world, you can't live without phone. But your TV subscription may be discretionary. You put all the discretionary things below. Then you automate. So important. You automate everything that is essential and fixed, because you pay the same amount every time. The variable one, the one that is essential. Go ahead, sir.
Do you save any minute amount of money if you automate your payment? I think there
Oh,
is something
yes.
there, but I just want to make sure it comes from you.
That is true. So 90% of companies will give you a discount if you automate. Most companies will give you a discount if you automate.
So then you are saving some money on that side.
You save money. Your phone bill mostly is 5 to 10%. They will give it to you if you automate. Your rent and mortgage, you may not see that, but your phone bill, some of the insurances, especially insurances, if you automate it and do it once a year, I'm telling you, if you can, insurances, you will save thousands of dollars if you can pay it annually. Car insurance, home insurance, those insurances, and the way you do it is, and so I'm going to teach you another system that you need to do. So, and it will answer your question beautifully, PK. When you automate, it will also give you a system where you now can create an account for essential and fixed things, because it's a fixed amount. So because you know that your insurance is $100 every month, all you need is, okay, if I can put $600 in there, then I can pay my insurance every 6 months. So now instead of $100 a month, maybe it's $500 every 6 months. You save $100 on it right there. and then you keep putting the 100 in there. So by the 6th month, you have another 600. They take away 500. You keep a hundred. Am I making sense?
Mhm.
The way I'm explaining it. So a lot of insurances will give you huge discount if you pay annually or every 6 months. I know for sure my car insurance, I pay every 6 months. I save. They tell me the car insurance, let's say it's $100 a month. And if I pay it for the whole 6 months, it's $500. So my goal is I want to pay the 6 months, the 500. If you can, not if, but if you can, you pay the 500 upfront. Then what I do is I keep that 100 into my account that is fixed and essential. I keep the $100 in there every month. I transfer it in there. So in 6 months, the insurance will come in and withdraw another 500. But if I'm very consistent, in the 6th month, I should have $600 in there. That account that I have is also an account, is a savings account that is making some small interest. So because it's all savings and the money coming in is fixed amount, I know that every month I just have to put 1,000 in there for my rent, my mortgage, my insurance. 1,000 will cover it all. So I put 1,000 every month, and then it's set up that it just works on itself. But whatever is not taken out, I make a little bit of interest off of. Another one that I don't want to go into detail, but I mention is for those who do this, even taxes, because I'm a businessman. I know most of the time at the end of the year, you owe a little bit of taxes. So for your income tax that you may owe, I will always estimate it and put it there. And at the end of the year, when I file the taxes and I know how much I owe, I give what I owe to the government, but I would have made a little bit of money on the savings. So the key to being able to do this the right way is breaking up your expenses, because budgeting is very confusing if you do it all at once. But I really appreciate you bringing that point, PK, because you save so much money if you automate your phone bill and some of those things. The key to that is being able to break up your expenses. Then the variable but essential, you create what I call a certain amount you allocate. And I would always put that on a separate account. Okay. If you are disciplined, please hear me. If you are disciplined, this is a great account to use your credit card for. Right? Let me put it again because I don't want you to. If you are disciplined, the variable but essential expenses are great accounts for your credit card. Because what you do is you have the money, but you pay with your credit card and then you put it back. You don't know exactly how much it is, but you know you spend about $600 on groceries. But it can go 700, it can go 800, it can go 300. If you pay with your credit card, then you can put it back. Okay, but you have to be disciplined. Utilities, each month it will come a little bit different. It goes through your credit card and then you put it back. You know that you spend this amount, you have an idea, but if you use your credit card for this, then you can get the points and all of that. But also you can also plan and put your money back. So one of my strategy is I always have a home credit card. It has a very small limit. In fact, when they write to me to increase it, I say no, because I don't want to have too much that I can pay off. Has a very small limit, and I use it for home expenses and groceries, gas, those things that I do, but I don't know how much. It all goes on there. But because it has a limit, it helps me sometimes when I'm going over. I know that the credit card is being spent. I know, but every month I pay it off. You pay it off, and that helps build your credit. It does so many good things for you. But it allows you to know. It allows you to know what you are, how you manage your expenses. So that becomes very essential. So remember, if you are disciplined, you can use your credit card. If not, just create an account and then run those numbers through. The discretionary spending, the key to it is you can put it as part of your fix. Just don't ever make that a priority on your budget. Because where people mess up is you don't want to miss an important bill whilst your discretionary spending is being paid for. It's okay if they cancel the TV subscription, so what? At least your rent is paid, at least your gas, your food, those things are taken care of. So now those ones, some of, because they know it's discretionary, they won't even let you do anything unless you subscribe to it where it's automated. But what you need to do is you need to keep an eye on it. And then that is why you list all the expenses so you know what they are. And if you can, put it in a place where you sometimes they have these debit accounts like the Cash App card. It's a card that you can never overdraw. It cuts you off when you overdraw. Those are great place to put that expenses. And think about it, you can have as many accounts as you can, as you want. So if you have gym membership, TV subscriptions, all of those, you put it in those debit cards that will not allow any overdraw. So you know you would never overdraw. So when you are going through challenges in life, those monies will never affect you because the account cannot overdraw. If there's no money, there's no money. They don't get to bill you when you are not expecting it. That is where I put that. So your fixed, your variable, your discretionary fixed, and then your discretionary variable like shopping, entertainment. That one, I encourage everybody to have a certain amount of money you pay yourself with to do things to live a little bit. Life, we are all in different spaces, but if you are able to, even if it's $20, $30, whatever, and as your economics change, you can increase that amount. But something small to do something so that life you can smile a little bit, so that you can enjoy life too, so that you can feel alive. So you don't always feel like you are being forced to to you are living in a cage, or you are being forced to live life on the wrong side. No. So always when you build a budget, build a small amount in there that you can use to enjoy yourself. It's important. So remember the four quadrants. This is really important to me because this is what makes budgeting easy to keep around. Because the moment you break it apart, you have an account that all of your fixed and essential expenses are going through. It's a savings account. You have a card with, let's say, 500 or $1,000 limit that all your variable expenses you run through that are essential. Then you have a debit card that cannot be overdrawn, that you use all your fixed but discretionary expenses. That's where they go through. So if you ever want to cancel, you are not now, because if you use it on a card, on a credit card or something, it's so hard to cancel sometimes because you're not calling and trying to, and then they keep drawing and you keep paying interest on it. But in this way, you can cut it off whenever you want to. Because that card, you only spend the money you put on. And by actively having to put money on the card every month, you actually help yourself understand that, man, if you are spending too much, you will be able to see it, and it would allow you to think through it before you keep putting money on there. I hope this is helping somebody. So the key is you define your goals. We talk about that. You list your expenses, you prioritize, then you automate the parts that you can. So important, that automation. If it's essential, it's fixed, automate it immediately. Then now every month, all you are doing is just doing a quick review. That is what makes it easy. So you are not sitting down every month to budget. You're just reviewing to make sure things are going no, things are going according to plan. You are reviewing to see, man, this, because you've blocked it off and you've set it up with a priority in mind, you are not overdoing anything. So you know every month what is going on. And once a month, like 15 minutes, sometimes it doesn't even take 15 minutes. I just go through it. I see what came out, and it's so easy to catch when something is off. It's so easy to catch when something is off. And what I would like to do, I like to show you parts. Now, please, this is just my budget. It's not by any means the all be all. Like I said, my friend created it. and I have used this budget. So this is just a template of it that I'm about to show. And just so in case I can kind of show you how I apply the same system, but on a budget. Okay. And then I'll open it up for questions. So,
You want me to
okay.
read some questions, or you want to proceed?
I can show this real quick and then
Okay.
I deleted all the information from it, so but just follow me through this. So I told you because I like to control my process. I use this as my budget. This is a visualizer. Normally, this is the dashboard, but if you start from the budget area, this is my monthly budget, and then I have, let's say, if it mortgage is, let's say, 1,000. When I put the mortgage, then I can go here and categorize. Oh, this is a view only part. Sorry, why did I put it view only? Let me switch it up for you. Don't know why I did it that way. Hold on 1 second. I've so many Excel sheets created. I'm going through it. Okay, I know. Let me. So let's go here.
Well, whilst you're doing that, I'm gonna read some comments. These are not questions, but this is coming from Bridget Bissa. She says, "Good job following from Columbus, Ohio." Thanks, Bridget. Hey, Brighto. It's Bright Bissa, and I said Bridget.
Yeah, so
Bright, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Bright Bissa. Watching all the way from Columbus, Ohio. I don't know how the bridges came into play. My brother Giselle says, "Thank you. The conversation is so valuable. God bless." And Sally said the animal you were looking for is ostrich.
Oh, Austria. Yes. Thank you.
I didn't even know that's how they run, hide the sun from the sun.
Yes,
But
they just put your head in the sand and then they think you can see them. Yes.
All right, Sally, thank you so much for that. Agota says, if you want to put some money aside, like 50 pounds or £1, this Agota from YouTube, and he or she comes back to say, if you want to put some money aside in savings each month, what category will it fall under? I think that question is going for the essential.
Okay.
But when you get there,
yeah, I'll handle it. Yes. I did a budget template to show, and
there was a question on Facebook that I wanted to read. Because Facebook do not show on that. Pull that one up. I think it was on the HRTV one.
Okay.
I think somebody asked a question and the person responded. I'm not sure if the question left, but I can't find it. Okay, here it is. That was from Samuel Income. Samuel Income says, if your credit is that bad, maybe you should wait and build it before buying the house. I think it was for a previous question that came earlier. Now, let me take this opportunity whilst you are trying to find the right Excel sheet. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are African and you are an African lady, African woman in United States, I'm trying to please remind you that African Most Beautiful USA, it's happening this year. So please make sure that you actually go to www.ambuza, that is ambusa.org, and register. And yes, African Most Beautiful USA is happening on Saturday, July 26th, at New Jersey, please. But before that, you have to register and be part of the audition in order to be part of the contestant. So please, if you are between the ages of 18 and 35 and you are an African woman living in the United States and you can travel around, because the winners always get to travel to do some humanitarian stuff in Ghana or maybe your country of origin. So please go to www.ambusa, AMBUSA, that means African Most Beautiful USA, ambusa.org, and register so that you can also be a winner. The past 3 years of contestants have of contest, the contestants have won vehicles. The winner or the winner comes out with a vehicle and
You
cash
don't
as
do it for
well.
handsome man.
Huh?
How about the most handsome man?
No, not yet. Maybe you can sponsor that event after we save some money from the budget. Go ahead, AKOWUAH. You can take it from there.
That would be good because they win cars. But no, thank you. So, yeah, I was looking for the editable version, but I don't know. So basically, this is the tool I use.
Nana, before you proceed, our brother Nana Kojo just asked a very beautiful question. Please, can he share a soft copy of the budget with us? So, like, can you share the budget with us, or you only avail it to your client?
So it will be so important that this,
like you go over with them.
Yes, it's not one because, like I said, this was just very specific, and the person that actually worked with me to
Oh, so
design
you
it,
have
my
to tailor
friend,
it to their
needs. Yeah,
their
and
needs.
I'm going to explain why. The way I did this is you can see there's a budget. This is the budget when let's say your mortgage, you spend $1,000 mortgage, whatever, and then I have it here essential versus non-essential. So mortgage is essential. You may fuel car wash, you can put essential versus non-essential, and then each month you can use that. Sorry, I just went through. Each month I put the actual expenses here, and then it will actually compare the actual expenses that I put here on the dashboard for me, so I know how my expenses is going. But in addition to that, I have a whole portion just for income, and then I have a portion for monthly savings, and I have a debt management where I have all of my debt, credit cards. It's so, like I said, I did it, and then my emergency funding.
Okay.
And then it can calculate. It's really specific to how I like to budget.
So you still have to meet them, tailor to their needs, and maybe they get a copy of that, right?
Yes, and then based on what your priorities are, your vision is, how you're trying to do, we can help you build something similar that is easy to follow.
Okay.
But it's really hard to just send it like it is. It's just really confusing.
But at least we can get a copy of the slides, right? We can get a copy of the slides.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that we can put on our platforms.
Yes. I'll send it to you right after.
Family, he's gonna send a copy of the slides, and we're gonna put it on both the HITV topic discussion chat room and also the Tatapsen forum chat room as well, so that everybody can have access to the slides by the time that we are done with the show. So please stand by. And also, he's going to put his contact information over there, and as we proceed, you can always contact him and he can get you something tailored to you. And with time, as time passes by, we're going to send the link to both chat room in the Zoom account, so that people can actually click on it and join as well.
Okay. Yeah, and then all I wanted to show with this budget was how I broke it apart because of my lifestyle. So there's a household, transportation, food, shopping, others, and then credit card, and then you see savings. It's just, and then each one is priority. Each one is based on priority. I want to really encourage you, whatever works for you. But like I said, you can do this on some of the apps, Rocket Money app, Chase Bank app. Those companies will give you something similar. I only use Excel because I like to manipulate the numbers really well. And my friend, he's really good at designing stuff. So he does all my design work. So we kind of worked through what I really was looking for. And then he sat down and then he's also good with Excel. So we kind of worked together and then he came up with this. But yeah, if when I sit down with clients and I know what kind of where you are, what you're trying to achieve, and how you want to plan, then I can create something around your lifestyle because not everybody has all of those different life things going through like I do. So it's really important that I'm able to um, take my time and go through that with you um, in differently. I just wanted to kind of show you that template so you can have an
So
idea.
so
And
so
there's
for the
simple ones that I may be able to share because there's so many different ones. Actually, on Google, there's so many beautiful templates on there.
wow, Lord just asked a very good question that I was about to ask you right now. So for the
Mhm,
purpose of those that are not tech savvy, okay,
mhm,
is there any easy way to get it done? Because, like for instance, I do mine on my notes, my
mhm.
iPhone notes. So I do
Yes.
income and I do expenses. Then maybe miscellaneous for where you maybe set aside money for miscellaneous for what I can use every
Mhm,
month. And if I don't use all, it goes into savings. So
mhm.
for people that are not tech savvy, that are watching us right now, who cannot go through all those Excels, all those beautiful apps that you're showing us right now, is there any basic formula that they can use?
Absolutely. And those are the those are the majority of people because I have a clientele that, like I said, I deal with a local market I deal with, and that's the reason why I designed this quadrant. It was so easy. So think about it. The first quadrant is a savings account. The first quadrant, the fixed and essential, is a savings account. The second quadrant, your variable and essential, is a simple credit card. The third quadrant, the discretionary, is a debit card that does not overdraw. And then the last quadrant, you keep it as cash. It's a very easy to use. So you have you have an account that you put all your savings in. And remember, I'm not talking about investment. One of these days, I'm not an investment advisor, but I can teach you investment strategies that it's not advising you, but it's just telling you how to think of investment. But what I'm in this part when we talk about budgeting, my savings that goes to my investment is part of my fixed and essential because I save every month, and it doesn't matter how small. All of that is part of my fixed and essential. So then all my groceries, my utilities, and all of this comes out of my house credit card that I share with my wife. That it's all of the house bills that we don't control, utilities, all of they come out of there. Then the gym membership, the TV subscriptions, all of those things that I really don't want them having control over my money. You have it on this debit card that cannot overdraw. It's very important that it doesn't overdraw because when I don't have money, I don't want that to be a part of the thing messing up my life. And then the rest cash. We have my wife and I we pay ourselves every month. So there's an amount of money we pay ourselves that we can use when I want to go out to watch a movie or do something. And that is also something we plan for. But what that does for me is that it almost in a simple way automates my life. So it doesn't even require discipline to stay on budget, right? Because everything is so sectioned out in a simple way. I don't even need discipline to stay on budget. So even if I do it this way, all I have to do is if an expense or a bill or something that I'm going to add to my account comes up, then I know exactly. Let's say I'm going to buy Starbucks. If I go to Starbucks twice a week because I meet with friends there. If I go there, I'm only using my discretionary non-variable, which is cash. So I use the cash that I have on me because I don't use any of those ones. If my wife goes to the gym, we know where the gym money comes out. It comes. There's no money on the card. It doesn't matter because we put a certain amount on that debit card each month, and that takes care of the discretionary but fixed. But all our mortgage, we have a bank savings account that our mortgage, all our insurances, all of the key essentials. We have kids, so there are some of their school related expenses. All of that come out of that one account, and there's a specific amount we put on there each month. So when she gets paid or I make money, because my money is not consistent, I make money. We know where everything goes each month. Everything else goes into savings or investments. We don't try to increase our lifestyle because we get extra, or you don't try to do more because you get more. But no, everything else goes straight into savings. Now I want to teach another strategy that really really works for us. If you get paid bi-weekly or weekly, this strategy is a good way to either pay off your mortgage or even plan vacation. I realized a few years ago that having opportunity to go on vacations is really important for us. So what I do, and you see how my budget goes all the month, because my wife gets paid weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. It means that if it's let's say bi-weekly, it means that you get two paychecks each month. But if it's bi-weekly, some months you get three, because there are 26 weeks 52 weeks in a year, 26 bi-weekly in a year. So there are two extra paychecks that will always come hidden through the year that you don't get to see. So I always take a calendar and I circle every week that she will get paid. And I do this with a lot of my clients. They love it. And I tell them, your lifestyle is planned within those two paychecks because that's what you get most months. The month that you have those extra paychecks, you have to plan ahead, but you circle it and you take those two extra paychecks, use them for vacation, or use them to pay extra on your mortgage, or use it to pay off a credit card, or do whatever. But don't try to don't try to mix that with your lifestyle. Because what will happen is you realize, oh, I have extra money this month. You didn't really plan for it, then you spend it, you don't even use it for anything purposeful. But if you get bi-weekly, weekly, that system works really, really well. But let's say if you are paid once a month or twice a month, 15th and the 30th, so you don't really get an opportunity to get that, then what I'll say is that you will have to intentionally put money away either to for vacation or all of those things. One simple strategy if you have a mortgage that you want to pay off quicker is round up. So your mortgage is 1,250. Make it 1,500. You round up and then make sure you select that extra 200, extra 250 is applied to your principal. That little extra 50, extra 100 here can really make a difference for you. Or if you are paid bi-weekly and you really want to pay off your mortgage quicker and you want to use that system, you can say instead of your mortgage coming out once a month, you want to pay your mortgage every 2 weeks. So unconsciously each year you have two extra payments on your mortgage without even knowing. So there are so many little ways. And for the bi-weekly system, it sometimes, depending on how much it is, can cut your mortgage down by 10 years if you have a 30-year mortgage. Because your interest is charged on principal. And the more you clear the principal, the faster you pay that off. And you will do that quicker than you ever imagined. So those are some of the key things that I really wanted to cover when it comes to budgeting. I'm happy to take questions and also go through some of the questions right now.
All right, let's do that because I know we're crunching on our time, but we'll try to make sure we ask all the questions that people have so that things can be clear. So let's start off with this one. So are you done with the slides?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
you can
now.
take it.
I'll put my information up there
Yes.
later.
And yeah, please
So
put your information. I'll say put your information now just in case some people, some people are watching us from work and they may
mhm,
not have all their, so just put it now so that they can always get it. All
okay.
right. So Bright Besat says, I've been banking with PNC Bank for some years now, and I
Mhm.
decided to join a credit union in my company, Honda. about 6 months ago with a 2 week savings of $200. What advice would you give me if I want to buy a house with at least 25% down payment? That is a big man talking.
Can you so he says with a $200 payment?
No, not pay. Savings of he's saving extra $200 from his job. So he had a
Okay.
two-part question. So the first
Okay.
one, he was just trying to say that he was banking with PNC for some time now, and he decided to join a credit union with his company. And
Yes,
due
this is
to doing
good.
that, he's saving $200. So he just made that statement. That is out of the way. And now he's asking, what advice would you give him if he wants to buy a house with at least 25% down payment?
Well, so the most important thing with that's good, that's great. But that's what I talk about. Sometimes it's hard to answer questions when when there's no destination in mind. Because 25%, are you buying $100,000 home, a $500,000 home, or $1 million home? You know what I mean? So depending on what kind of house you're looking to buy, Bright looks to be like a wealthy person, so could be he's looking to buy $1 million or $2 million home, and so 25% is a whole different conversation for you that somebody that's maybe wanting to buy $100,000 home and 25% is a $25,000 savings. That's two different conversations. But what I'll say is that, what when it comes to finance, it's numbers. It's very simple. It's just numbers. Knowing that 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 5 is
Do you
7.
mind if you take the slide off, please?
I was trying to share the contact information
Oh,
of,
gotcha. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, but
So,
just copy it and put it on Zoom for us so that everybody can get it.
oh yeah. Okay, yes. Let me do that.
Mhm.
Okay, so 1 + 1 is 2. Then let me stop sharing and I'll put it on the Zoom so you will be able to share it. Thank you. Okay. So when you treat it as numbers, now you have to come up with what is that 25%? What number is that? Okay, and then when you know that number, now you know how long do you have. It's also a number. That the length of time is also a number. So how much, how long? When you know those two things, then based on how much you can save, you look for an investment vehicle that will give you the growth rate that will get you to that number within that time frame you have. Okay, so you need to know how much you're trying to save, how long you have to save that. Then, based on how much you can save, you look for an investment vehicle with a growth rate that can get you that number by the time you've given to yourself. So I can easily put it in numbers for you if I know. Let's say I want to save $25,000 in 5 years. That means on average I want to save $5,000 a year. If you divide 5,000 by 12, that's about what, 400 and something dollars, or 400. I don't know the amount, but 400 something dollars. So now I know that every month I have to put out 400, let's say 450 a month if I want to get to 5,000. But let's say I can only do 300. I cannot do all the 40, I can only do 300. So I know that 300 will give me 3,600 a year. So now I can do the math or sit down with an investment advisor and say, if I can put down, and is it okay if I share my screen again? Because
Yeah, that's
I want
fine.
to model this. So now if let's do investment calculator. I just want to show this real quick. And this is what I typically would encourage everybody to do. So I know I can do 300 every month. I have 5 years to save 25,000. Right now, if I can do 300, and then this is per month, so I'll do 300 a month. If I do 300 a month at 6%, by the end of 5 years, I'll have 21,247. Okay, so I need an investment tool that will do more than 6%. If it's at 8%, I have 22,000. That means I need an investment tool that
You're
will do
not
more
sharing
than.
now.
Oh, I'm not sharing. Sorry.
Oh,
I thought I hit share. I did not hit share. I'm sorry.
okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
So I'm starting at 300 or even I'm starting at zero. I have 5 years. I want to save, it started at 6%. I want to save 21,000. That means I want to save 25,000 in 5 years. I can only put away $300. In 5 years, $300 at 6% will give me 20,000. If I have 0%, if that means if I don't invest the money at all, I will have $18,000 exactly. But I want to get 25%, right? I want to get 25,000. So I look for an investment tool that will do 6%. If I do 6% compound interest, that investment will make me 20,000 in 5 years. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 25,000. So let me do maybe 10%. This was what I was modeling. Now 10% will get you to 22,000 in 5 years. Your goal is to save 25,000. So then you have to find an investment tool that will give you maybe 15%. Let's try. Okay. So at 15%, we hit our number. So then the question you have to ask is there an investment tool that I can put $300 a month in that will earn me 15% every month consistently for 5 years? That is a conversation you have with your financial advisor. But I just want to kind of draw your mind to how you can use math to determine how to get to that 25% you are looking to save. So that 25% has to be a specific number. And that number, you can determine how you can save to get there. Or you say maybe there's nothing that will give me 15%, but there are investments that will definitely give you 6%. So maybe let me increase my amount to $400 and see if it will make a difference. Okay, an extra $100 will get me more than the 25,000 I need at 6%. So maybe then that will mean I cut my lifestyle down and save 400 instead of 300. That way I can get to the 25,000. Okay, so I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, unmute me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
So
basically
Nana, due to
yes.
our time, I think so we already passed our time 2 minutes, but we still have to ask people's question. Let me ask this last one from Zoom. Then we're gonna double check on Facebook if there's anything else. Then, but producer is going to put in the link to our chat room. And A-Class, please, if you can put the links to the chat room, I really appreciate it. So that people can join as well. And also, if people have questions to ask, we can go ahead and take that. Opinion Mensa says, my take-home lesson is the emphasis on hidden expenses. Opinion Mensa, I agree with you 100%. I learned this about 6 years ago, and it has really saved me a fortune. Those hidden expenses, especially funeral dues and all those little things, it got to a point even tight. Those of us who pay tithes, or those of you who pay tithes, do not even recognize to put that as a budget. But that takes a lot from your account. So yes, you are right. Or what I will coin untracked expenses. You are 100% right, Opinion Mensa. For example, we do not consider how many times we have given extended family members, friends, and colleagues without thinking of it. Not in a bad context, but as we are to be hospital and kind to people. However, these people are saving or pocketing their monies. This is a wake-up call for all to learn to say no to certain requests. I mean, that is if it's outside the budget. If it's still within the budget and you still have some for miscellaneous, why not? But then again, to each his own, and I respect that as well. Just ponder over how much it has cost you on gas, fuel, or petrol, or diesel, without noticing that it has nothing to do with work or without our immediate families. And power. Now, for events because we drive it 2 hours. There you go. Then you come back. All those take away hotel reservations that you have to go sleep in. Thank you, Tatap. Thank you, HRTV and other sponsors. This meeting is my first time, and I have learned a lot, and I enjoyed it. Thank you. Opinion Mensa, thank you so much. let it not be your last one. Actually, I have enjoyed your comments as well. So do my producers and also the speaker himself, as well as the other viewers have also enjoyed your comment because this is a wake-up call, like you rightfully said. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Nana Kwame's website is www.tri-city-business-mi. Tri-City Business MI as in Michigan.com. So please email him over there, or you can contact him at 989-695-8160. All right. Mercy says, your money, your goal is the tool kits I use to help my clients as a case manager. Nice. Beautiful. Thank you for adding up to that, Sister Mercy. And also, A-Class just posted a link to the Startup Send Open Forum. So please make sure you click on that to join as well. And if you have any issues or concerns concerning Startup Send, you can go ahead and just put that over there as well. Opinion Mentor says, our metered giving lift. Hey, giving lift. True. Especially those of our friends who do not even drive. That is very, very important. Very, very, very important. Opinion Mentor, you just made my day today. Francis Offer says, from my financial advising perspective, I would say savings, especially in a substantially larger amount, is a waste of money. No savings account pays you more above the rate of inflation. Francis Offer come back again to say, I believe there is a way you can eat your money and have it. When didn't cake or didn't money and will still want to have it. And A-Class posted the number again for the Tri-City Business. And also producer also posted the number again for our brother Tri-City Business, and the number again is 989-695-8160, and the name is Nana Kwame AKOWUAH, CEO of Tri-City Business, MI. And also, yes, then this chat, okay, so A-Class just posted the chat room for HRTV topics discussion. So please, all the topics that we discuss over here, and again, once we are done with the show, we will post the link to the YouTube for those who were at work and couldn't get to it so that they can watch it as well. So please make sure you actually patronize both links. And again, if you have anything else to do with Startup Send, please, that one is open forum. Anything that you put over there, we have all the ambassadors to actually help you answer all those questions that you have when it comes to the Startup Send link. And the HRTV link, we use that to discuss topics and also future things that people want to see on the show. With that being said, we're going to pick up our sister Oba for her to give us her question. Then with Nana Mr. give us like 7 minutes and we'll wrap it up. I know 7:30 is the time, but give us until 7:45, then we'll just wrap up everything. I promise on that. All right, Oba, please proceed.
Good evening. Well done. My question to you
Oba,
is,
before your question. I've not told Oba yet, but I'm telling her right now on the show so that she can say no. Maybe I may catch her the back door, make her know. Next week, Oba will be hosting you on the new topic that got approved. Oba be boom me rough.
like, really?
Yes, like duh. What kind of say like seriously?
Seriously?
Like duh. All right. So the topic for next week is managing finances in relationships, combining goals and resources. Our brother Nana AKOWUAH will take that again for us. Then the week after that, we're gonna bring you guys some legal stuff. Maybe our sister Oba will take the legal, or I'll come back for the legal one. But yes, our sister Oba, thank you so much for accepting the challenge.
Yeah, it's not accepted yet. Let me ask my question.
Ask your question.
Well done. Great topic today. So what advice would you give to someone who is self-employed? They don't have a regular W-2 form. How should they manage with trying to save? How should they budget for expenses and just basically how to save and pay off mortgage, etc.? What advice would you give individuals who are commission-based employees, self-employed? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So this is interesting because that's me
Nana
actually
Mr.
in a
Before you answer that
nutshell.
one, don't forget that after best question, you have another question to answer for our sister concerning
Oh,
the. I
yes.
just remembered. I want to tell you before I forget again because I've it hit me like twice while you were talking, so let me just go ahead and put that out there. After our best
Thank you.
question, please answer our sister's question for it.
That
Then we'll
is
wrap
so
it up.
true.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much for reminding me. I almost forgot to. But yes, that is me in a nutshell. And I will say this: there's always not a straight cut because, of course, the income is not straight cut, but the strategy is important. The first thing for anybody with inconsistent income is you have to get your priority right. And then when you set up your priority, anything that is in the first quadrant, try to have 3 to 6 months of it always in the account. So that when you go through your high seasons, I'm a typical example of that. Between January and April is about 80% of my revenue. So I make sure always I pay for the whole year, everything that I have to. It's like you got to pay all the year. Because I take off all the priorities now. That means that even if it gets to November, December, and life is challenging, all my essentials are taken care of. You pay for the year ahead of time if you can, but have 6 to 8 months because life is seasonal and it's cyclical and it's inconsistent. So the try to pay ahead of time. So the simple rule is pay the essentials ahead of time. Then what you want to do with the rest is always make sure that as you allocate, you take off the essentials first. And then if you have inconsistent income, credit card management is really, really important. I think that is what credit card is made for. For those, so if you have to go groceries and all of that, because sometimes, your groceries and all of those things, you may not even have enough money to cover it because you're a business person. Some clients haven't paid you, things haven't really shaped up. Well, you use the credit card for that. Then the moment you get the money, you pay it back out off, and then you try to keep yourself going. And then the other strategy that I would highly recommend. But as I answer this question, please, I want to speak it with caution because some of these things require more a detailed conversation. But a HELOC, home equity line of credit, for business people is so important because what it does is it gives you access to cash when you need it, but you don't have to use it. Try not to ever touch it. So if you're a business person and you have a home and it has equity, if you can get a home equity line of credit, 30, 40, 50, 100, do it. And keep it, don't touch it. Because as you run business is cycle. Like, one law, I'm telling you this, one law, one word by our president can change my whole business. It can turn it upside down. And it's happened before. And then one word will bring it all back to life. So because of that uncertainty, having access to cash when you need it is really important because sometimes challenges may come, but they are temporal, and then if you wait a little bit, you can overcome it. But the foundational rule for a business person is priority. Take care of the essentials first. Don't allow yourself to spend the money where you don't need to mess you up on the back end.
Okay.
Take care of the essentials first. Yeah. And then to answer the question from Nanakos here.
So before you answer the one from Nanakos, I think our sister Ifua also is in line with that question. But before we do that, Ifua said, please answer this question for me. Being on Medicaid due to health issues, but I want to do some saving investment. Is it possible? So answer Sister Force and also Nanakosia if he is, then we will wrap it up from there.
Okay. Let me start from Nanakos here and then I'll jump into the Medicaid question. With respect to building credit for your home, like PK said, is a whole class on its own. Credit is very in detail. But what I'll say is that try to make sure all your credit cards are paid off at all time. Your first step is go to annualcreditreport.com. Please write it down. It's free. Annualcreditreport.com. There you can get a detailed information on all your credit, or anything on your credit profile from all three bureaus. You can get it once a year for free. It doesn't give you your credit score, but it gives you the things that affect your credit, your home, your addresses, everything that you have on your credit profile. A lot of times, even the enquiries and some of the little things, you can just make a phone call and remove them. And that can change your credit. Sometimes just a phone call can transform your credit. So the first step is go to annualcreditreport.com so you can understand what is affecting your credit score. And you can come up with a game plan. But the second thing is one of the things that always get to people are high credit card balances, and then also uh, and what is that? The thing they put on your credit when you don't pay your debt. I forget. I'm losing the mind. But those two things almost always on the average person is what affects them. So try to remove any delinquencies. Any delinquent, that's the word. Anything that any account that is delinquent, call, settle, pay it off, whatever you can do. And then if you can keep your balances on your credit card low, most of the time you'll be good. You'll be good. And you need a good credit mix, but those are secondary stuff. If you take off those three things that I've told you, annual credit report, clean up all your delinquencies, and keep your credit balances high, you should hit, if not 700, close to 700. Just those things. Then you let the rest fall into place. But the credit conversation is a whole detailed conversation that we may have
Yes,
to
I
have
think we'll find some time to
another
just go
time.
into that.
Yeah.
So a quick brush on the Medicaid one so that we
Mhm.
can, because we're
So
already past
what
time.
I'll say is that it's hard to save what you don't have. You need to create an income. You need to find a way to create an income. Now you said you are not well, so I don't know how limited you are in terms of movement or being able to do stuff. But what I'll say is that today, not just online, but there's so many other ways you can make money through, even because of online accessibility, buying and selling, making content, different things you could do even with limited access. So I would pray that you really do a soul searching, find a system that can make you income, because the income has to come before you can even save. Without bringing in income, it's hard to plan. And Medicaid and those government stuff, they don't give you the cash. So you really need a source of income to build a savings, or to be able to do some form of investment. So my answer to you will be, what can you do to create an income for yourself? That should be the first question before we even think about
I'll
saving
think,
money or
Sister
investing
Fia,
money.
just go ahead and contact Nana AKOWUAH, and maybe you guys can have a deep conversation, and that will solve a lot of concerns. Thank you so much, Nana, for coming. I'll call upon your class to sign us out. Then after that, I know we're gonna see you next week to talk about the relationship goals and how to save together as partners, and also run finances together. You kind of hit on it a little bit with you and your wife, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna monitor you so that you don't take away the juice from next week. But I want to say big thanks to
Okay.
you. Thanks so much to our viewers and everybody. Please do not leave. We have the Q&A session with Tatapsen. After A class is done with AKOWUAH, I'm gonna come back and just sign out on all social media platforms. Then we'll hand over to Uncle Jimmy for the Q&A session. A class.
abusuafoɔ Nana Kwame yɛda ase pii nyame nhyira paa for nimdeɛ a wode ama yɛn sɛ yɛka sɛ yɛba consultation a agye sɛ breki bank no kakra, but what we say is God bless you, sir. And we really appreciate your time and in-depth knowledge what the Abraham. So continue to do the good work out there, and Mother Ghana is really proud of you. Nti for ne ɔmo a mohwɛ na ɔmo check wɔ Zoom so na so yɛbɛsrɛ mo ɔmo mmɔden Nana Kwame contact no ɛwɔ chat no mu. Please pick it up. You might never know, and so that at least any help that he can assist you on piano, it will help out a bit from that point. Said the Tesco UK for year can every little helps. So if you can go there and get a bit of knowledge, I hope and believe it go a long way to help you. And don't forget to share the link to your friends and families as well for them to get knowledge into what Nana have said. As PK said, you'll be here next week as well. So please, we'll post this into the chat rooms, the WhatsApp pages, as well. And please, when you get it, share it to your friends and family. And Nana Kwame to also be on the chat page in the WhatsApp page. And so, if you have any question, you pick it up from today's one. Then next week, you meet us again. God bless you all. Shalom.
All right. That's this is thanks coming from Startup Sense Corner. And we want to say thank you so much for coming and always being there for us whenever we need you in terms of taxes, in terms of buying a home, in terms of getting a loan for businesses, and also now we are here talking about budgeting, and also tomorrow next we're gonna be talking about relationship goals in terms of saving together as family. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you too.
Thank you. Ebusiafo, this is where we wrap it up in terms of the first segment, which is the resource person or the time with Startup Sense with the resource or the speaker. At this point, we're gonna call upon Uncle Jimmy to take us with the Q&A session when it comes to any questions or concerns that we have with Startup Sense. So Uncle Jimmy will take it from here. But please, on YouTube and Facebook, please, if you're on YouTube and Facebook right now, since it's about to go off, click on the Zoom link. If you join through the Facebook account, the link are there, the Zoom links are there. Please click on it. And today, I heard a lot of complaints from people that they were having issues putting in the passcode. I'm not sure why YouTube is doing that. Not YouTube, forgive me. I'm not sure why Zoom is doing that. But since you've been on the link before, automatically supposed to allow you to come through. It happened to me today myself when I was joining the Zoom link. I had to put in the passcode. The passcode is always the same. We never change it. It's going to be HRETV. All together, HRETV. And once you put in the passcode, it will just let you through. So in the future, I think it will help us a lot because a lot of people were trying to get on and they were having issues getting on, putting the passcode. HRETV, all in capitals, together, no space, and it will just put you through. So thank you guys very much. Those of you watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We will be glad to see you guys next week, and we really appreciate your time and your concerns, your contributions, your questions. Man, this is awesome. We really love that, and we'd love to see more next week. Thank you guys. Big thanks to our sponsors, and a bigger thanks to Startup Sense for sponsoring this event and making it possible for everybody to see what is going on in the world concerning education, entertainment, everything. We are bringing it to your doorsteps. And also big thanks to all the producers, Nana Lord, Nana Kwesi Wydot, and also A-Class and Danny for making this happen. And God bless you watching me the most for making this happen. See you guys next week.